Hello, friends. We're glad you're practicing English with us today.
I'm Leo. Hello, everyone. Thanks for spending your time learning English with us.
And I'm Tina. We're here to help you speak English confidently through real conversations. Every day, we talk about everyday topics using simple English so you can learn naturally, just like talking with friends.
And today we have a very useful topic. We're going to talk about office English. If you work in an office or if you want to work in an office someday, this lesson is perfect for you.
That's right. We'll teach you 100 essential phrases for the office. These are phrases you can use every single day at work, from greeting your coworkers to asking for help to talking about meetings and deadlines.
This is really practical English. You can use these phrases tomorrow at your job.
So if you're enjoying this lesson already, please give us a thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you never miss our new videos.
All right, are you ready to learn office English?
Let's get started.
So Tina, how are you today?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Actually, I'm a little tired because I stayed up late last night finishing some work. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing well. I had a nice, relaxing weekend, so I feel refreshed. What did you do this weekend?
Well, on Saturday, I went to a coffee shop to work on some projects. I know, that sounds boring, but I actually enjoy working in coffee shops. The atmosphere is nice, and I can focus better than at home.
Really? I'm the opposite. On Sunday, I tried to work at a coffee shop, but it was too noisy. There were so many people talking, and the coffee machine was so loud, I couldn't concentrate at all.
Oh, that's funny. Maybe you went at a busy time?
Yeah, I went at noon. Big mistake. Next time I'll go in the morning when it's quieter.
Good idea. I always go early in the morning, around 7 or 8 a.m. There are only a few people there, so it's peaceful.
See, you're smart about these things. Speaking of work and being productive, that actually connects perfectly to today's topic about office English.
That's true. Whether you work in a traditional office, at home, or at a coffee shop like me, you still need to communicate with colleagues and clients.
Exactly. So let's talk about all the essential phrases you need for the office.
Okay, Leo, imagine this. You arrive at the office in the morning. What's the first thing you say to your coworkers?
Well, I usually say good morning or just morning. That's pretty simple, right?
Yes, that's the most common greeting. But you can also say, hi, how are you? Or, hey, how's it going?
Right. And usually people respond with, good, thanks. How about you? Or, I'm fine, thanks.
Exactly. These are polite greetings. You don't always have a long conversation, but it's important to be friendly. Sometimes I also say, good morning. Did you have a nice weekend?
Oh, I like that. That's more personal. It shows you care about the person.
Yes, and it's a good way to start a small conversation. People usually say, yes, it was great, thanks for asking. Or, it was good, I spent time with my family.
What if someone asks me, how was your weekend, but I don't want to talk much? What can I say?
You can keep it short. Just say, it was good, thanks. Or, pretty relaxing, how about yours? Then you can ask them a question so they talk instead.
Oh, that's smart. Okay, so after greetings, what happens next? Usually I need to check my emails and messages.
Right, so you might say to yourself or to a colleague, I need to check my emails. Or, let me see what messages I have.
And if I have a lot of emails, I might say, oh no, I have so many emails, or my inbox is full.
Exactly. That happens to me all the time. Sometimes I say, I need to go through my emails, which means I need to read them and respond to them.
What does go through mean exactly?
Good question. Go through means to look at something carefully, one by one. Like going through emails means reading each email, or going through documents means checking each document.
I see. So after checking emails, maybe I need to talk to my boss or manager. What should I say?
Well, if you need to speak with your manager, you can say, do you have a minute? Or, can I talk to you about something?
What if they look busy? Should I still interrupt them?
That's a good point. If they look very busy, you can say, sorry to bother you, but, or, when you have time, could we talk about...
Oh, well, I like sorry to bother you. That's very polite. What does bother mean?
Bother means to interrupt or disturb someone. If you say, sorry to bother you, you're being polite and showing you know they're busy.
Got it. So let's say my manager says yes, they have time. Now I need to ask them a question about a project. How do I start?
You can say, I have a question about the project, or I need some help with something. You can also say, could you clarify something for me?
What does clarify mean?
Clarify means to make something clear or easier to understand. If something is confusing, you ask someone to clarify it.
I see. So I could say, could you clarify the deadline for this project?
Perfect. Or you could ask, when is this due? Due means the time when you need to finish something.
Right, the deadline. Sometimes my manager gives me a new task and I'm not sure I understand. What can I say?
You should ask questions. Don't pretend you understand if you don't. You can say, could you explain that again? Or, I'm not sure I understand. Could you repeat that?
Those are helpful phrases. I sometimes feel shy about asking questions, but I know it's important.
It's very important. It's better to ask questions than to do the work wrong. You can also say, just to confirm, you want me to, and then repeat what you think they said.
Oh, that's a good technique. So I check if I understood correctly.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about meetings. Meetings are a big part of office life. How do you feel about meetings, Leo?
Honestly, I don't love meetings. Sometimes they're too long and I get bored, but I know they're necessary.
I understand. Some meetings are very productive and some are not, but you need to know the right phrases for meetings. For example, if you're organizing a meeting, you might say, let's schedule a meeting for tomorrow, or can we meet at 2 p.m.?
And what if someone suggests a time that doesn't work for me?
You can say, I'm not available at that time, or I have a conflict at 2 p.m. Could we meet at 3 instead?
What does conflict mean here?
In this context, conflict means you have something else scheduled at that time. It's a polite way to say you're busy.
I see. So if 3 p.m. works for me, I would say 3 p.m. works for me, or that works for me.
Perfect. Now, during the meeting, you might need to share your ideas or give an update. You can say, I'd like to share an update on the project, or can I add something?
What if I want to interrupt someone politely during the meeting?
You can say, sorry to interrupt, but, or, can I just add something here? Or, if I may.
If I may sounds very formal.
It is formal, but it's very polite. It's good for professional settings. You can also say, may I suggest something when you have an idea.
Okay, what about when I agree with someone in the meeting?
You can say, I agree with that, or that's a great point, or I think that's a good idea.
And if I disagree, how do I do that politely?
Good question. You should be diplomatic. You can say, I see your point, but, or that's interesting, however, or I have a different opinion.
Those are much more polite than just saying, no, I disagree.
Exactly. In professional settings, you want to be respectful even when you disagree. You can also say, have you considered, and then offer your alternative idea.
That's helpful. What about when the meeting is ending? What do people say?
Usually, someone says, let's wrap this up, which means let's finish. Or, I think that's everything for today. Or, does anyone have any questions before we end?
And then someone might say, let's touch base next week or something like that.
Yes. Touch base means to connect or communicate again. It's a very common office phrase. You can say, let's touch base on Friday, or I'll touch base with you about this later.
Okay, so meetings are done. Now let's talk about working with colleagues on projects. What phrases do I need?
Well, if you need help from a colleague, you can say, could you help me with this? Or, do you have time to assist me with something?
And if a colleague asks me for help, but I'm too busy?
You can say, I'm in the middle of something right now, but I can help you later. Or, I'm swamped at the moment. Can it wait until this afternoon?
What does swamped mean?
Swamped means very busy, like you have too much work. It's a common office expression. You can say, I'm swamped with work, or I'm really swamped this week.
Got it. What if I want to collaborate with someone on a project? How do I suggest that?
You can say, would you like to work together on this? Or, why don't we collaborate on this project? Or, let's team up for this.
And if we're working together and I finished my part, what do I say?
You can say, I've completed my part, or I finished my section. Do you need help with yours? Or, my part is done. Let me know if you need anything.
What about asking for feedback? How do I do that?
You can say, could you review this and give me feedback? Or, let me know what you think. Or, I'd appreciate your input on this.
What does input mean?
Input means someone's ideas, opinions, or contribution. If you ask someone for input, you want their thoughts or suggestions.
Okay, so if my colleague gives me feedback and I want to thank them, I say, thanks for the feedback, or I appreciate your input, or that's helpful, thank you.
Now, let's talk about deadlines. I'm not always good with deadlines. What phrases are important here? Well, if you're asking about a deadline, you say, when is this due? Or, what's the deadline for this? If you're telling someone a deadline, you say, this is due by Friday, or the deadline is next Monday.
What if I can't meet the deadline? That happens sometimes.
You should communicate early. Don't wait until the deadline passes. You can say, I'm running behind on this, or I need an extension on the deadline, or I don't think I can finish this by Friday. Is Monday possible?
What does running behind mean?
Running behind means you're not making progress as fast as you should. You're behind schedule. It's an honest way to say you're late with something.
Okay, so it's better to be honest and ask for more time than to miss the deadline completely.
Exactly. In professional settings, you want to be respectful even when you disagree. You can also say, have you considered, and then offer your alternative idea.
That's helpful. What about when you finish something early or on time? What do you say?
You can inform your manager by saying, I've completed the project, or the report is finished, or I've submitted the proposal.
And if you want to sound more professional, what do you say?
You can say, I've finalized the document, or the project has been completed, or everything is ready for review.
What does finalized mean?
Finalized means you've completely finished something and it's in its final form. Nothing more needs to be done to it.
Got it. Now, what about phone calls? Sometimes I need to make phone calls at work, and I'm not sure what to say, especially in English.
Phone calls can be tricky. When you answer the phone at work, you usually say, hello, this is your name, or good morning, company name, this is your name, speaking.
And if I'm calling someone,
You say, hi, this is your name from company name. I'm calling about, or hello, may I speak with person's name.
What if the person I'm calling is not available?
The receptionist might say, I'm sorry, they're not available right now, or they're in a meeting at the moment. Then you can say, could I leave a message? Or when would be a good time to call back?
And if someone calls for my colleague who's not here, what do I say?
You say, I'm sorry, they're not at their desk right now, or they're away from the office today. Can I take a message?
What does take a message mean?
It means to write down information from the caller and give it to the person later. So you might say, can I take a message? And then write down what the caller wants to communicate.
That makes sense. What about emails? I write a lot of emails at work. What are some good phrases?
Email has its own language. To start an email, you usually write Dear Name for formal emails, or Hi Name for less formal ones. You can also write Hello Name.
And how do I start the message part?
You can say, I hope this email finds you well for formal emails, or you can start directly with, I'm writing to, or I wanted to follow up on, or just touching base about.
What does follow up mean?
Follow up means to check on something or continue a previous conversation. If you sent an email last week and didn't get a response, you can send a follow-up email. You might write, I'm following up on my previous email, or just following up to see if you had a chance to review this.
Okay, and what about ending an email? How do I close it?
Common closings are best regards, kind regards, thank you, or thanks so much. Then you write your name.
What if I need something from someone? How do I ask politely in an email?
You can write, could you please? Or would you be able to? Or I would appreciate it if you could. These are all polite ways to make a request.
And if I need it urgently?
You can write, "This is urgent," or "I need this as soon as possible," or "Could you prioritize this?" But be careful not to overuse urgent or people won't take it seriously.
Good point. What about saying no in an email? Sometimes I get requests that I can't fulfill.
You should be polite but clear. You can write, "Unfortunately, I won't be able to," or "I'm afraid I can't," or "I don't have the capacity to take this on right now."
What does capacity mean here?
Capacity means the ability or time to do something. If you don't have capacity, it means you're too busy or don't have the resources.
I see. What about talking about problems at work? How do I bring up an issue?
You can say, "We have a problem with," or "There's an issue with," or "I'd like to bring something to your attention."
And if I want to suggest a solution,
You can say, "I think we should," or "My suggestion is," or "What if we tried," or "Have you thought about?"
those sound collaborative. What about when something goes wrong? How do I apologize professionally?
You say, "I apologize for the delay," or "I'm sorry for the confusion," or "I take full responsibility for this mistake."
Those are very professional. Better than just saying, my bad.
Exactly. In a professional environment, you want to sound mature and responsible. You can also say, "I'll make sure this doesn't happen again," or "I'm working to fix this immediately."
Good. What about praising a colleague? If someone does good work, what can I say?
You can say, "Great job on the presentation," or "You did excellent work on this project," or "I'm impressed with your results."
And if I want to thank someone for their hard work, what do I say?
You say, "Thank you for your hard work," or "I appreciate your effort on this," or "Thanks for going above and beyond."
What does going above and beyond mean?
It means doing more than expected. If someone goes above and beyond, they do extra work or put in extra effort that wasn't required.
That's a nice phrase. Okay, what about breaks and lunchtime? What do people say?
You might say, "I'm going to take a break," or "I'll be back in 15 minutes," or "I'm heading to lunch. I'll be back at 1 p.m."
And if I want to invite a colleague to lunch, what do I say?
You can say, "Do you want to grab lunch?" Or "Would you like to join me for lunch?" Or "Are you free for lunch?"
What does grab lunch mean?
Grab means to get something quickly. Grab lunch is a casual way to say get lunch together. You can also say grab coffee or grab a snack.
Okay, and at the end of the day, what do people say when they leave?
Usually people say, "Have a good evening," or "See you tomorrow," or "I'm heading out. See you Monday."
And if someone is working late, what might they say?
They might say, "I'm going to stay late to finish this," or "I'll be here for another hour or two," or "I need to work overtime tonight."
What does overtime mean?
Overtime means working beyond your normal hours. If your normal hours are 9 to 5 and you work until 7, those 2 extra hours are overtime.
Got it. Wow, Tina, we covered a lot of phrases.
We did. These are all essential phrases for office communication. If you learn these, you'll feel much more confident at work.
I agree, and the best way to learn them is to practice using them in real situations.
Exactly. Start with a few phrases and use them every day. Then add more phrases as you get comfortable. You know, Leo, while we were talking, we used many useful words and phrases. Let's go through some of the most important ones.
Good idea. I think some viewers might want to review these words.
First word, bother. This means to interrupt or disturb someone. When you say sorry to bother you, you're being polite and acknowledging that the person might be busy.
Right. We use this a lot in the office. Can you give more examples?
Sure. "I don't want to bother you, but I have a quick question." Or "It's no bother at all," which means it's okay, I don't mind helping you.
What about the opposite? What's the opposite of bother?
There's not a direct opposite, but you could say leave alone or not disturb. Like, "Please don't disturb me, I'm concentrating."
I see. What's the next word?
Next word, clarify. This means to make something clear or explain it better. If you don't understand something, you ask someone to clarify.
So I could say, could you clarify what you mean by that?
Exactly. Or let me clarify my point, which means let me explain more clearly. Another example is, just to clarify, the meeting is at 3 p.m., not 2 p.m., right?
That's helpful. I use this word when I'm confused about instructions.
Yes, it's very professional. It shows you want to understand correctly. The noun form is clarification. You can say, I need clarification on this issue.
Good to know. What's next?
Third word, deadline. This is the date or time when something must be finished. Every project has a deadline.
Like the deadline for the report is Friday at 5 p.m.
Perfect. You can also say we need to meet the deadline, which means we need to finish on time, or we missed the deadline, which means we didn't finish on time.
What if the deadline is very soon?
You can say the deadline is tight, or we have a tight deadline, which means there's not much time.
I see. What about when someone gives you more time?
That's called an extension. You can say my boss gave me a deadline extension, or I asked for an extension.
Okay, next word.
Fourth word, swamped. This means very busy, like you have too much work. It's an informal but common office word.
I'm swamped with work today. Or I'm totally swamped this week.
Exactly. You can also say I'm swamped with emails, or we're swamped with orders. It gives the image of being overwhelmed, like you're drowning in work.
What are some other ways to say you're busy?
You can say I'm up to my neck in work, or I have a lot on my plate, or simply I'm really busy right now.
Those are all useful. Next word.
Fifth word, input. This means someone's ideas, opinions, or contributions. When you ask for input, you want someone's thoughts or suggestions.
Like, I'd like your input on this project.
Yes. Or, we need input from the marketing team, or thanks for your valuable input. The word can also be a verb. You can say, she inputted the data, which means she entered the information.
But we're focusing on the noun form, right? The opinion meaning.
Right. In meetings, people often say, does anyone have any input? Which means, does anyone have ideas or opinions to share?
Got it. What's next?
Sixth word, collaborate. This means to work together with someone on a project. It's very professional.
Let's collaborate on this proposal.
Perfect. You can also say we collaborated with the design team, or this is a collaborative project. The noun is collaboration. You can say, thank you for your collaboration.
Is it different from cooperate?
They're similar. Collaborate often implies working together closely to create something. Cooperate is more general and just means working together or helping each other.
Interesting. Next word.
Seventh word, follow up. This means to check on something or continue a previous conversation. It's very common in business English.
Like, I'll follow up with you next week about this.
Exactly. Or, I'm following up on my email from yesterday. Or, could you follow up with the client? You can also use it as a noun. I need to do a follow-up, or let's schedule a follow-up meeting.
So it's about checking progress or continuing communication.
Yes, exactly. It ensures things don't get forgotten. If someone doesn't respond to your email, you send a follow-up email.
That makes sense. What's the next word?
Fifth word, capacity. In the office context, this means the ability, time, or resources to do something. If you don't have capacity, you're too busy or don't have what you need.
So I don't have the capacity to take on another project right now.
Perfect. Or we're at full capacity, which means we can't do any more work. Or do you have the capacity to help me with this?
What about other meanings of capacity?
Capacity can also mean the maximum amount something can hold, like the room has a capacity of 50 people, or the hard drive is at full capacity.
But in the office, we usually use it to talk about workload.
Yes, exactly. It's about whether you have the time and resources to do something.
Okay, next word.
Ninth word, touch base. This is an informal phrase that means to communicate or connect with someone, usually briefly. It comes from baseball.
Like, let's touch base next week, or I'll touch base with you on Friday.
Exactly. You can also say, I wanted to touch base about the project, or just touching base to see how things are going.
So it's like a quick check-in or update.
Yes, it's not usually a long conversation. It's just connecting to stay updated or coordinate. Some people also say, let's connect, which has a similar meaning.
Is this phrase used in formal situations?
It's used in business, but it's somewhat informal. In very formal situations, you might say, let's discuss or let's meet instead.
Good to know. What's next?
10th word, urgent. This means something needs immediate attention or must be done quickly. It's very important.
Like, this is urgent, or I have an urgent matter to discuss.
Yes, or I need this urgently, or it's not urgent, but when you have time. You can also say something is an emergency, which is even more serious than urgent.
What's the noun form?
It's urgency. You can say this matter has some urgency, or there's no urgency, which means there's no rush.
And we should be careful not to call everything urgent, right?
Exactly. If you say everything is urgent, people won't take you seriously. Save urgent for things that really need immediate attention.
Good advice. What's the next word?
15th word, finalize. This means to complete something in its final form, so nothing more needs to be done. It's very professional.
Like, I've finalized the report, or we need to finalize the details.
Perfect. You can also say, once we finalize the contract, we can begin, or the design has been finalized. The noun is finalization. You can say, we're working on the finalization of the project.
So it's stronger than just finish.
Yes, it implies that everything is completely done and approved. It's in its final state.
Got it. Last word?
12th word, prioritize. This means to decide which tasks are most important and should be done first. Good time management requires prioritizing.
Like, I need to prioritize this project, or what should I prioritize today?
Exactly. Or we should prioritize customer requests, or let's prioritize the urgent tasks. The noun is priority. You can say, this is my top priority, or what are your priorities for this week?
So if something is a priority, it's important and should be done first.
Yes, exactly. In the office, you often have many tasks, so you need to prioritize which ones to do first based on importance and deadlines.
That's really useful. So those are our 12 key vocabulary words.
Let me summarize them quickly. Bother means to interrupt someone. Clarify means to make something clear. Deadline is when something must be finished. Swamped means very busy. Input means ideas or opinions. Collaborate means to work together. Follow up means to check on something. Capacity means ability or time to do something. Touch base means to connect briefly. Urgent means needing immediate attention. Finalize means to complete in final form. And prioritize means to decide what's most important.
Perfect summary. These words will help you sound professional at the office.
Okay, Leo, that was a lot of talking about office English.
It really was. We covered so many phrases. I hope viewers aren't overwhelmed.
Don't worry. Let's think about what we learned and organize it. It's actually quite simple when you break it down into sections.
Good idea. What did we start with?
First, we learned morning greetings and starting your workday. We use phrases like, good morning, how was your weekend, and I need to check my emails. These help you be friendly and start your day professionally.
Right. Then we talked about communicating with your manager or boss.
Exactly. We learned phrases like, do you have a minute? Sorry to bother you. Could you clarify this? And when is this due? These phrases help you ask questions and get the information you need politely.
After that, we discussed meetings, which are a big part of office life.
Yes. For meetings, we learned phrases like, let's schedule a meeting. That works for me. Sorry to interrupt. I agree with that. Have you considered? And let's wrap this up. These help you participate in meetings professionally.
Then we talked about working with colleagues and asking for help.
Right. We learned, could you help me with this? I'm swamped at the moment. Would you like to work together? Could you review this? And thanks for the feedback. These help you collaborate with your team.
We also covered deadlines in managing your time.
Yes. Important phrases include, when is this due? I'm running behind. I need an extension. I've completed the project. And could you prioritize this? These help you communicate about deadlines and time management.
And then we talked about phone calls and emails.
Phone phrases include, this is name speaking. May I speak with? Could I leave a message? I'll call back later. Email phrases include, I hope this email finds you well. I'm following up on. could you please, and best regards. These help you communicate professionally through different channels.
Finally, we discussed how to handle problems, apologize, and praise colleagues.
Yes, phrases like, there's an issue with, I apologize for, great job on, and thanks for going above and beyond. These help you navigate difficult situations and build good relationships.
When you organize it like that, it's really not that complicated.
Exactly. You don't need to memorize all 100 phrases today. Just start with a few from each section and practice them. As you get comfortable, add more phrases to your vocabulary.
And remember, the key is to practice in real situations. Use these phrases at your job and they'll become natural.
Absolutely. The more you use them, the more confident you'll become.
Now we want to hear from you. This is our favorite part.
Our question of the day is, what is the most common phrase you use at your office, and what does it mean?
Let me think about my answer. For me, I think I say, let's touch base later a lot. I use this when I'm busy and someone wants to talk, so I suggest we connect later when I have more time.
That's a good one. For me, I think I say, could you clarify that? Pretty often. I always want to make sure I understand things correctly, so I ask people to explain things more clearly if I'm confused.
See, we have different answers, and that's okay. Everyone has their own common phrases based on their job and their personality.
Exactly. So viewers, we want to know about you. What phrase do you use most at your office? It could be any phrase related to work. Maybe you always say, I'll send you an email about that, or let's schedule a meeting, or I'm working on it.
Tell us the phrase and also explain when or why you use it. For example, you can write, I often say, I'm running behind when I have too much work and can't finish on time.
Or you can write, I always say thanks for your help to my coworkers because teamwork is important to me.
Please tell us in the comments. Write, I often say, or my most common phrase is, and then explain it.
This really helps us understand what our viewers need, and it helps you practice writing in English, which is so important.
Plus, you can read other people's comments and learn new phrases from them, too.
So don't be shy. Leave a comment below. We read every single comment, and we love hearing from you. All right, we've reached the end of today's lesson. Thank you so much for watching and learning with us.
If you enjoyed this video and found these office phrases helpful, please give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow and reach more English learners like you.
And if you haven't already, click the subscribe button and click the little bell icon. That way, you won't forget to join us for our next lesson.
We make new English conversation videos every day, covering topics that you can use in your daily life.
You are all great students, and we're so happy to be part of your English learning journey.
Remember, learning English takes time and practice. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Every mistake is a learning opportunity.
Keep practicing these phrases at your office or in your daily conversations. The more you use them, the more natural they'll become.
And most importantly, believe in yourself. You're doing great.
Have a wonderful day, evening, and night wherever you are in the world.
Keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next video.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.